Potter's Journal 2020, Easter, Passover, Ramadan, all land in April this year. People are taking special stock in what's real and what's important. I've had to close my nursery this year, moving it up to the farm. I've been able now to take notice of what's in bloom. To actually stop and smell the roses. As potters, what else is it we like to stop and take notice of? It's what's in the kiln today. We've got a kiln unloading, but first, real quick, between a couple of snowflakes here, the conifers are great for the winter color. One of the first things to flower, the peach, and even before it was the Pieris japonica. We're waiting on the viburnum, the forsythias growing strong, and okay, everybody loves, they'll be here soon, the magnolias. Okay, let's see what's going on in the studio today. I think we really need, oh good, what's in the kiln today after the past month here? I think, yeah, these are cooled down enough now. Okay, this French series of pottery jugs I've been making here with the beading on. And you know, these things weren't the historic pieces exciting necessarily in the way they were glazed, usually a single glaze that didn't always come down to the bottom. And okay, you know, this is just what I was looking for with this glaze. I thinned it down just a hair to show off the beading. I guess the beading could have been bigger too and more accented with a thick glaze over it, so that might have worked too. I don't know that there's any fireworks in here, but that was what we were looking for. And I would have done everything in this glaze. All right, yes, you know what? This, I think, was one of my favorites from this group, with the beading actually emphasizing and showing off the form, the reverse of the way a pumpkin does it. And yeah, I would have used this glaze the whole way through. I did leave the fingerprints here on the side from where I dipped it in the glaze. I did, though, then go back and brush a light coat of glaze in the fingerprints. I could have done them all that color and that glaze, but okay, thinking everybody else may get a bit bored. My bluey glaze on the bottom, I could have done it all in that, which actually is the way the old historic pieces were made, and I think that would have worked, but I put the sea mist over top of the top of it, and yeah, it's not bad that way. I see that the glaze ran down the inside of the handle, and there's a little drip on both sides. See if that happened. Yeah, and that happened over here too. And also, okay, I brought it down to about here, and it looks like it ran to about there, and you know, ran on both sides around on the beading. Okay. And okay, and these pieces with the beading, okay, here with my Albany slip glaze, and once again with the sea mist over top of it, to give some added interest for people today, since these weren't just utilitarian items today. They're more decorative. When actually used, they were for lamp oil, which, and some of the lamp oil was walnut oil, so that's hard to imagine enough oil from walnuts to light lamps from. And then the other group of pots from Provence, a different time and era. I don't know what they were, not necessarily for the lamp oil. You know what, this, I have a few more of these. I didn't get these all in the kiln from my Let's Get Connected video with the twisted coil handles. You know, I only did a couple of these because that is not my thing, but now that I see it here, you know, maybe that is my thing. Maybe I do like it, just like the face mugs that I didn't think much of when I first did them. Okay, wow. So I'm going to be sorry, since this is a series of 100 jugs all different, to move on to a new type of jug. I think I'm going to have to come back to this. Okay, and here is the conscience, the conscience jug. Okay, the Archbishop of Arles having a tax on the oil according to one's conscience. I can imagine some people paying quite a bit and other people maybe just proclaiming they've already paid enough and not contributing at all. Okay. Oh wow, this is, this is just what I was looking for. I mean, these are relatively plainly glazed. There's, no skyrockets shooting off, but yeah, that's somewhat how the old pieces were made, except for accidents. And that's what happened here. Oh, right. It's so hard to produce an accident and not have it look like an accident. Okay, my Albany slip glaze, the finger marks from where I dipped it, and oh, it must have slid off the post. So I've got a bit of a post, so now I'll grind that down. That'll add to the distressing of the pot. I also dropped it on the ground, so we've got a couple of dents there. And I spooned some sea mist on here and actually got some of the random looking glaze splashes like they got on the piece. I put a brick, or no, a Coke bottle, a bit of a Coke bottle here for that trip. All right. Oh, okay, yes, this is what I needed. There are still some more of these I will get in the next kiln load. The series is not finished. But I may have painted myself into a corner with the conscience jug, saying something about tying it to a donkey with a rope. I guess people watching my videos know if I make a batter bowl, I make a video of pouring and using it. When I did egg separators, I did one of it spitting the egg out its mouth. When it was olive oil pourers, we cooked on the grill and made a salad. On this one, I don't even own a good piece of rope except this rotten old stuff here, let alone a donkey. But I was thinking, I traveled to the island of Patmos in the Aegean, where St. John was exiled. This was a hugely eventful week in his hugely eventful life. On the far side of the island, Campos Bay, there's a small beachside taverna. Here's some pictures I took when I was there. I will look for some rope and closer to home for a donkey. Back to paying the rent. Pie plates with the, dipping one color over the other. People seem to like that. And I've been putting all my glazes on some test pieces with what glaze is that? Oh, that's my bluey, which really I think only looks good plain, like on that first jug I pulled out, but here's on a black slip and a white slip. So I'm doing some tests with all my glazes right now. This is my Albany. Yeah, the way we perceive difficulty. I just had my medication delivered to my door, an inconvenience because I don't want to go out. At one time, these jugs we're looking at might have been used for life-sustaining fluids that could have just been water and were hard to obtain with a donkey and a mule. So difficulty today, that's the sea mist on the black and the white slip. We will look at this when I get, dozens of these made. This is, the Albany on a black and white slip. And another one of the pies. Yeah, the way we perceive difficulty. Here's a look at the donkeys closer to home. And this is in my backyard. And I go, usually, they are in this middle of this road that I take to work. And usually I'm eating lunch in a hurry to get there. It's only a mile. And usually I'm thinking, please get out of the way. So here we go today. Stop and take some pictures. Just taking some time out, what is real and what is important. I'll put a link up here to the only other pottery Easter video I know from Janice the Potter. And this is just the start of some tests. Okay, but first, we've got another shelf here in this kiln. Let's see what's in the bottom here. I don't know where to start. There's that bluey glaze. And it does look good just plain. These are the face mugs that I just recently finished with the earring holes for them. And I think here's another one with the same glaze, the bluey. Despite the fun these things are, I actually do like the French. Okay, this one, this is the sea mist. This is what I sold the most of last year. I didn't like this one or his teeth, so I put the glaze I don't like on the pieces I want to be sure to sell the fastest. This blended celadon of mine always shows these pieces off well. Oh, and okay, the Albany. Oh, wow. And okay, I was falling into a pattern with them all looking the same. But I saw what they did over at LB Ceramics with some big eyes and big mouths and big eyebrows. So, okay, yeah. We'll advance these or move these along or look at them in a little different direction here. I think there might be one more of those. Yeah. Okay, yeah, this one here, this one was my favorite of the group. Okay, stop back. We'll look at some more of the French pottery jugs, finish that series, and finish up here with a look at the frescoes in the courtyard part of St. John's Monastery on Patmos, since we couldn't take any pictures inside.
Ο Αλέξιος έκανε τα εξής. Έδωσε τα χρήματα στον Όσο Χριστόβουλο για να χτίσει το μοναστήρι, έκανε και κάτι άλλο. Έκανε δώρο του Όσιου, ολόκληρη την Πάτμο και κάποια τριγύρω νησιά του Πάτμου, αυτά που λέμε και χαρακτηρίζουμε σήμερα σαν πατριαρχική εξαρχία Πάτμου. Ο Όσιος, έχοντας τα χρήματα, ζήτησε εργάτες, έφερε εργάτες για να τον βοηθήσουν από τα εργάτες. Έφερε εργάτες να τον βοηθήσουν από το Ισραήλ και όλοι μαζί ξεπλήσαν να χτίσουν τη μονή, φαίνεται η ορμηνία, στα 1088, δηλαδή 10 αιώνες μετά την άδεια της Ιωάννης του Μεσσίου. Δεν γνωρίζετε ότι ο Όσιος έφερε εργάτες. Οι εργάτες αυτοί φέρνουν μαζί τις οικογένειές τους.